Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Art of Relationship show. Another episode live, of course. Going to be talking about sexual deal breakers. Okay. Excuse me. This is a subject that is very, maybe highly debatable. Number one, because a lot of people will be squirmish. A lot of people will say, I want to talk about this, but I can't because we're shy. We might be a little uncomfortable hearing what our partner might like, but also, let's face it, we might be uncomfortable and being a little shy, nervous. What are our sexual deal breakers? What do we want? What do we not want? What will we not tolerate sexually in our life, in our relationship, in our marriage? Okay. So listen up. And as always, you can join in the live chat down below, people. Should be, I want to make this a fun, interesting, and also maybe if some people are like a little shy, I want to help you feel more comfortable owning your sexuality and what you like, what do you want, but also, being okay, excuse me, with what you don't like. I think we all have deal breakers, or we should. And we talk about deal breakers when it comes to relationship, right? Where I'm not going to be in an abusive relationship. I'm not going to get beat. I'm not going to get, cheated on repeatedly, whatever it is, right? So we all have deal breakers. But when it comes to sex, a lot of people don't look at deal breakers or what is good for you, what is not. How do you want your sex life? How do you, envision it? What are your expectations? And what are your goals about a happy, healthy sex life for you? Not for me. Everybody determines their own, right? It shouldn't be based on society. It shouldn't be based on religious beliefs, no disrespect. It should not be based on culture, that type of thing, right? Or other people in our lives, family, friends, parents. It is up to us to decide that. And I want to give you permission to explore and to enjoy and have a fulfilling sex life, whatever that means to you. So I want to know what your relationship deal breakers are. Excuse me. And is it that you don't like oral sex, okay? And you know what? You're with somebody that loves oral sex, that loves giving and receiving. Woohoo! Right? And but you are one that thinks it's gross, thinks it's disgusting, whatever. It's not your thing, okay? So again, it's not a right or wrong. A lot of people look at, oh, that's wrong, you don't like this, or it's wrong, you like this. No, it's looking at what you can deal with in your life and in your relationship. And a lot of people will come to you and say, well, sex isn't everything in a relationship. But to somebody, it's very, very important, right? You get to decide, not society, relatives, friends, culture, race, whatever. You get to decide what is right for you, what do you want, and not what you don't like. It's when two people clash with their sexual appetite, if you will, that creates a lot of problems in relationships. And those people that say, oh, sex shouldn't be that important in a relationship, hold on, let me question those people first. And you know what? Is sex, intimacy, physical attraction, chemistry, is that the only thing or main thing that differentiates, my apology, between friendship and romantic interest? It's the intimacy, the sexual chemistry, it's the, sexual compatibility, the attractiveness, right? And I know I'm not that attractive, people. So, but this is where I want you to be able to look at, what are your deal breakers? And a lot of people look at, oh, should not be a big deal. It's not that important. Who tells you that, right? It shouldn't be. If it's important to you, that's what matters. And I want to give you permission. Again, nothing is, how can I say this? Nothing is perfect. You're not going to have, toe curling, oh my God, multiple orgasm sex 100% of the time. Okay. Let's be honest. That'd be great. That'd be woohoo. We can all go for that, but it probably isn't going to be like that 100% of the time. Right. About realism, being realistic. So talking about your sexual deal breakers, if you love oral sex, giving, receiving, woohoo, great, terrific. And if you're with somebody that does not like oral sex, right? And are you going to be okay with that? And oh, I'm okay with that. The rest of sex is okay. I can live without oral sex. And then a year goes by, 2 years, 5 years go by, and then you're like, man, I don't like this. I'm sort of either bored or don't feel fully sexually open, fulfilled. And you both know what each other's deal breakers were. Not only that, you knew what each other liked, what you didn't like. And this has come about compatibility. And these are a huge issue when I talk about sex before marriage. And I never promote waiting until you get married because of sexual compatibility. And these are part of the deal breakers that we talk about and look at, and I'm all about people challenging your deal breakers, right? If you don't like oral sex, I want to know why. Not that you have to have a reason or whatever, but I want you to be challenged. Why? Do you think it's gross, disgusting? Do you feel like you're giving up control over yourself? I want to know, and I want to challenge people's views and, try to help them learn the reality, if you will, not based on myths, not based on what your friends think or family told you that, if you masturbate, guys are going to grow hair on their palms. Oh, good thing. I have no hair on my palms. No. So we know that's a myth, right? So we be able to look at what your deal breakers are in the sexual realm. And, are you okay with not receiving that, or you're not going to be with somebody, say, that does not enjoy oral sex like you do, receiving, giving, that type of element. Okay. And there are people out there that love giving oral sex, but they don't like receiving it. Again, not a judgment. And it's looking at, really? No kidding. So, but I'm honest. I love giving and receiving. Okay. So, and there's people out there that are not into butt sex and they've never tried it before, or they're not into anal play at all, right? No little finger rim job, or we can get into, different aspects about, you know, the anal sensory nerve endings and all that stuff can be very sensitive, sensory driven, and can be very pleasurable for a lot of people. But a lot of people will look at, I'm not into that. That's not me. It's only an out way, not an in way type of aspect. And there's both men and women that enjoy a little anal play. And again, it's not for everybody, but you look at, if I don't get butt sex one form or another, I'm not going to be in that relationship because it's important to me. And this goes for men, women, any gender, right? It is not again, right or wrong. And a lot of times, like any relationship dynamic, especially the sexual realm, you're going to have one person or both bashing each other. Oh, you like that? I don't understand it. That's wrong. You shouldn't like that. Or, you should like this. You should like, and you're like, what? I'm all about challenging your beliefs about what you feel is important to you to be sexually fulfilled. Or maybe you feel you want to try something, but your partner does not want to, or you think it's even wrong, immoral to bring it up. Okay. So, a list of maybe deal breakers or what you're into. I mentioned oral sex, right? What about butt sex, anal playing, right? It could be a little rim job. It could be a little finger play. It could be maybe your man wants to be pegged, and maybe there ain't no way I'm going to peg my, that type of situation. And it's looking at that type of element. Are you into it? Do you love it? Some people love it. Some people tolerate it. I don't want anybody to be in a situation where they have to tolerate a sexual act, right? Oh, I know my partner loves this. I really hate it, but I'm going to just tolerate it. That's going to not last long before you start feeling like you sell yourself out. Okay. So when you start selling yourself out and you're not into it, do you think your partner actually is going to pick up on that? That they're going to actually realize and feel and see and just get your vibe that you're not into something? That's not a turn on. Okay. So it comes into, yeah, he'll do it just because I want him to, or he'll do it just because I want her to, but it's not, she hates it, doesn't like it, or he doesn't like it. that's a turnoff for most of us people. So there's a difference between, the intensity and the enthusiasm about being into a sexual act versus that you're tolerating it, going through the motion, and just out of obligation. Okay. Again, join in the chat. I definitely love to hear your questions, your comments. Hey, Sarah, I appreciate you tuning in. Teresa, thank you. Infinite. Hey, what's up? So I'm all about hearing your comments. Any questions you have, I want to try to answer them the best I can. Like I said, I've been doing relationship sex counseling for, oh boy, 20, 21 years now. You can check out my website. I'll throw that out there, theartofrelationships.org. And follow me, Love Guru Greg, all over the place. Okay. YouTube, Facebook, of course, Instagram. Hey, people, you're viewing. So, what is your deal breaker? Saying, you know what, if my person is into this, they have to have it. There ain't no way I'm going to be with somebody that is like that. And again, a lot of people will look at, oh my God, you talk about, sex. I can't listen, or I can't even hear, or even what about a deal breaker being that your partner cannot even openly discuss sex, what they like, what they don't like, or what they want to try, what their fantasies are, what their dreams are. Oh, it's taboo. I can't even bring it up because I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed, or of being judged or being a bad person. I'm not into any type of sex shaming, or I never ever promote, slut shaming. Not at all. Not at all. That's disrespectful. Women and men should be able to enjoy whatever they like, right? So, when you look at your sexual deal breakers, what else would be a deal breaker? Is there a fetish? If your partner has a certain fetish, a foot fetish, or, loves to be, you know, covered in chocolate and have a bunch of feathers thrown all on him or her, before they have sex, would that be a deal breaker? There's all kind of fetishes, all kind of kinks out there. And a lot of people will look at, what, this is my thing. I need somebody that is going to align with my fetish or my kink repertoire or my kink sexual needs and wants. And again, it's, anywhere from, bondage, dominatrix to, actual pain inflicted and to reach sexual fulfillment, right? Physical pain, emotional pain, demoralizing your partner. They love it and they want you to. And you're like, I can't really do this, So you look at what are your deal breakers. And a lot of people don't even talk about this. They're afraid to, they want to maybe experience a deeper connection sexually or want to just have fun and try to expand their sexual horizon and interest, and they have a partner that is not that way. Will you be bored or will that be a deal breaker? Again, nobody decides that except you. Okay. So other deal breakers might be definitely, and I put in my private group I have on Facebook, Love, Sex, and Everything in Between. I talked about this. What are your sexual deal breakers? And mine, I work with all kind of couples, okay, that are in the lifestyle, swingers, poly, open relationship, bisexual, a lot of same-sex lesbian couples. I work with all kind of thing, but I'm not, me personally, I'm not into group sex. I'm not into poly. I'm not into swinging or swapping. That's not for me, but I don't bash somebody that's their thing. Again, you have to be with somebody that is okay with that and maybe wants to try it at least. And, or, what, are you going to be sexually sort of blunted, if you will? Are you going to be sexually bored? And that's not your, that's not going to make you happy and fulfilled, not only sexually, but within the relationship domain. And is it going to cause problems down the road? So again, sex is as important to you as it should be. Okay. Nobody dictates that. No one should dictate that to you. And you look at, what, and I get, people, as we get older, da 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 da. Again, think about this stat. Okay. Most STIs, STD rates, everybody, STI is the infection. Take a couple pills, clears up in a week or so. STD, herpes, AIDS, that type of thing, genital warts, it's with you forever. Okay. So, most STIs, STD actually rate is in senior citizen complex. So think about that. Everybody assumes, you reach a certain age, you're not going to be sexual anymore. Not at all. And how many people even look at, hey, I want to be sexual until I die. Again, that's up to you. And that's great. Great for you. You need to be with someone that aligns with that. And we know, people, that health issues arise, right? That can cause complications for men, for women, absolutely. But there's other ways you might be able to be sexual without penetrative sex. Okay. So you look at these aspects. What are your no goes? What are your deal breakers? Another thing, right? Maybe I've had women that want to peg their man, and their man's like, oh, hell no. And I tell, men, hey, if you want to try it, if it's for you, if it's not for you, you don't want to try it. Why? Because some men, they think, if they're getting pegged or any anal play, it means they're gay. And I'm like, not at all. Not all gay men practice butt sex. Not at all. So there's a lot of myths out there. It's who you're attracted to and who you're allowing doing the sexual act, right? And there's sexual fluidity, there's all kind of groups out there, but it's not about that. It's who you're attracted to and that type of element. So I want to get that out of the way. So maybe role playing, maybe your partner wants to dress up as a woman and you as a man and have sex together. Again, not a right or wrong. It's looking at what are you into? What do you want to try? And is it a definitive deal breaker? Is it a definitive no-go for your partner? And this is a crucial element to you, right? And I look at, should sex be any different than your relationship deal breakers, right? Whatever they are. I mentioned earlier, right? Relationship deal breakers could be, I'm not going to be in an abusive relationship. I'm not going to be with someone that beats my ass, that cheats on me numerous times, that talks behind my back, that is emotionally abusive. I already said physically abusive. I'm going to be with somebody that maybe don't want to have sex with me. I'm not going to be with someone like that. Again, we have relationship deal breakers, but a lot of people don't look at this important realm about your sexual deal breakers. What brings you sexual fulfillment? And are you in alignment with your partner, or is your partner in alignment with them? I deal with, if we could talk about your frequency, sexual frequency as a deal breaker as well, right? Meaning, you know what? You want to have sex 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week, and your partner wants it once a month, once every 3 months. And then you look at whatever it is. And again, neither one of you are wrong. It's about the compatibility and how you want to live your life. Well, if you really love me, you'd be doing this. Well, if you really love me, you would be okay with me not doing that. Right. And you get into a battle, a tit for tat. And I don't want that. It's looking at if those differences, just like your relationship aspects, right? If your sexual fulfillment needs are widely different from one another, chances are it's going to create a problem in your relationship or in your marriage. And there's people that can disagree with me. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm going with the stats. I'm going with my practice of 20, 21 years working with couples, working with relationships to be able to go after, what I see and what I research and what I do with Kinsey Institute and other, sex therapists and researchers throughout the country. That's legitimate, right? So how many people that they love makeup sex, right? They argue and fight just to have makeup sex. It's passionate, rip each other's clothes off. And there's people that make up sex. They can't do it. No, I will not. You need makeup sex. That's not me. I'm not going to have makeup sex with you, right? Is that a deal breaker? And again, it's not for everybody. Everybody assumes, again, that men all want this, women all want this. There's so many integrations in between any gender, okay? No matter what your gender is, it's not a man thing, a woman thing. No, it's an individual aspect, right? And I can tell you, I can attest that there's so many similarities between men and women that, they all think all men are like this, all women are like this when it comes to sexual needs repertoire. Oh, hell no, not at all. There's a lot of overlapping and a lot of, a lot of men love this, a lot of women like this. A lot of men don't like this. A lot of women don't like this. There's so many similarities, you'd be surprised. And it's looking at your deal breakers and what brings you sexual fulfillment. Maybe another thing, part of role playing is there's people that are in the, they're furries. Do you know what furries are? Everyone's like, what the heck are furries, right? No, it's not when you let yourself go and you're not grooming yourself, okay? Not where it's so furry and you have a bush, freaking sticking out to here. I'd be having like an afro, right? No, but furries is not about when you don't groom yourself. Furries is these are people, individuals that their sexual fulfillment is derived from dressing up into costumes, animal costumes usually, and having sex while they're dressed up in these costumes. And, they're called, they call themselves furries, that they're into that. And there's some people, again, that are into group sex, that are into swapping, they're into swinging, they're into all kind of different elements. And again, it's what works for you, what brings you sexual fulfillment, as long as it is consensual. That's crucial, right? I do not want anyone to do anything that is not consensual when it comes to, let's face it, a relationship or definitely a sexual act. Okay. There are people that are into rape play with sex, women, men. Again, you know what? It's consensual. That is not real rape. It's consensual. And they talk about it. They set the boundaries, just like part of S&M, right? And sadist, masochist, bondage, dominatrix. There's some people that love to get, physically hurt and bruised from sex, and that turns them on. And there was somebody that, there's no way I can do that. Okay. It's not for everybody. Again, it's aligning what works for you, not perfect, but that it's good enough, that it's close enough to bring you sexual fulfillment. There's some people that only want sex for physical pleasure, and they might be with somebody that they need that emotional connection. I'm one that I like both. I like the emotional connection. I like the physical connection. I like, being able to throw her up against the wall, rip her clothes off, get my clothes ripped off, that type of thing, just the physical pleasure. But I also like when the emotional connection kicks in. I want all of that. There's some people that need to have the emotional connection, and there was someone that cannot provide that, and it's just physical pleasure fulfillment. And they're all about physically, sexually pleasing their partner, but the emotional is not there. The emotional, the soulful, the heartfelt connections that their partner craves is just missing. It's not there, and they don't align. And then that creates a huge breakdown in a relationship, especially in their sexual repertoire, and it creates a huge disconnect, and it creates an issue to where one or both of them, they don't want to have sex with each other because it's not enjoyable, it's not fulfilling, it's not satisfying, or they feel like, oh, one's just doing it out of obligation. Like I said, that is a turn off for most people. Not all, but again, it's for most people, it's a turn off. It's like if I knew that, lady or whatever is just doing stuff out of obligation. Nah, stop. I'm good. I'm straight. Nope, I'm cool. I'm not into that. That's just not me. So you look at it, as long as it's consensual, your sexual repertoire is your business and what you like. And having that compatibility is crucial. It's huge, people. So ask, even write it down, talk to your partner, and those people that are single out there, what are your sexual deal breakers? Okay. Again, you can check it out. My website, I should say, check it out. Check what out? My website, theartofrelationships.org, YouTube, all over the place. You can check all my videos out on my website too, theartofrelationships.org. And then you can go to the top menu under show, and you'll have all the videos. They're from YouTube, of course, but it's an easy way to connect with all the videos on my website. Check me out, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Hey, people, I appreciate you tuning in. Again, under Love Guru Greg, and let's keep promoting sexual fulfillment, self respect, self love when it comes to this. Okay. And you know what? You get to enjoy you. And that's what I promote. You having a relationship that you crave, not only with another person or people, but also with yourself as well. Okay. Peace and love, people. Take care. Bye bye.